Hey guys, a quick little video answer today. Jason posted me a comment, and it brought to mind some things that I thought might be good to share on my channel. His and so we're going to cover the comment specifically and try to answer his question as best as I can. But then we'll talk about a few other things um, related to that subject, and the subject is aftershaves. And I've mentioned some of these concepts on my channel already. But uh, his question was specifically, do I have any recommendations or advice about budget friendly aftershaves, especially those that might match a lime or citrus, lemon, kind of zesty kind of scent. And so that's what we're going to be looking at. You can go with the artisan stuff like Barrister and Man, Declaration Grooming, Noble Otter, Mammoth, those kind of things. And you will often get better ingredients that are more friendly to your face, uh, nourishing, type ingredients. But you're going to pay maybe $18 or something like that. And it'll be about this quantity here, 4 ounces. Um, this particular one is from Summer Break, and it's the History 101. And like for instance, he's mainly alcohol based. He also has some witch hazel in addition to the alcohol and the fragrance oil, and it does have some aloe vera solution as well to be helpful. So a little bit of skin goodies in this one, and so they vary. Some of them, some splashes like the ones from Fine Accoutrements, are to me a little overpriced, but they don't have very little in them for your skin. It's just alcohol and fragrance for the most part. At least last time I checked, that was the case. Um, and so you will want to think about what you want in your splash so that to know whether you're going to have to pay for something higher or something cheaper will be fine for you. I mean, for zillions of years, right, guys have been using alcohol splashes that had nothing good for their skin because they mainly wanted it for the benefits of cleansing the skin, clearing it away, and leaving some scent behind, and then also killing any kind of bacteria. And alcohol, of course, as we know, is really very good at that. And so a cheapo, basic aftershave like you might find at Walmart or Walgreens or something like that is gonna do that. But something like Summer Break, which is probably cheaper than Barrister and Man, um, is still going to be not super cheap. Sterling's own splash at about this size is about $14. So it's a few dollars less than some of the more premium options from the artisans. You Yes, so there's that. Now, so do we want to go down cheaper than that? Well, there are going to be a few ways we can go. Probably next is going to be maybe Walmart, or some big box store, where you're going to find things like Pinaud Clubman potentially. Of course, sometimes you'll find like the Brute, the cologne, the Brute aftershaves. Dynamic Pulse by Adidas is another one I often see at Walmart. So you're going to have some pretty inexpensive options there, especially when you compare them to the artisan stuff we've already talked about. Uh, go cheaper there? Sure. And I've got some images up on the screen because I like to go to these beauty supply places. They're all over the place here in the South in the U.S. And so I've been to several, and the pictures I'm going to show you are kind of representative to what I will often see. And the bigger the store, the better chances you have at a pretty good variety of products. I can't see the camera's screen when I have it turned around showing my computer, and so I hope that everything turns out all right. So here we have the shelf here. Um, this is the standard lineup of Pinaud Clubman size bottles that you will see at Walmart as well. I think this one might be vanilla. This is probably the standard Pinaud Clubman. It's a very popular scent, and so that's why you'll see it everywhere. I don't really like it though. It probably goes with lime regarding Jason's question specifically. We've got other ones like Musk and Special Reserve. I think that one is. Okay, these are the kind of the Walmart standard sizes. And then Clubman probably down here as well, that same standard Clubman scent. One that I like, that I think is in the Clubman line, Brandy Spice. I enjoy that one. But this same shape bottle is in one called Whiskey Woods. And I really enjoy that one. I could use that one quite a bit. And it's in this same bottle. It's pretty cheap on Amazon as well. Here it's $7.99. That's cheaper than Amazon. These bottles, in case you can't read the prices, are $7.50. And then over here it says $5.99 for this guy right over here. Now we've got, if you like the Clubman, the traditional standard Clubman scent, then you've got bigger bottles down here. And that looks like, I can't read it. So a larger quantity, probably a value savings there. Talcum powder, they've got scented talcum powder. So there are some options there. And so the Clubman's kind of going to be hit or miss. It's mostly scent and alcohol. So not too much goody stuff for your face. But if you like the scent, then it's going to be a pretty economical way to go. Down here, we've got Black Magic, and we've got that in green, blue, and orange. And that looks just like maybe $5.50 if I'm reading the numbers right. And I smelled a few of these kind of things, and sometimes they smell just like some bad old man fragrance. But if you smell one that you like, then you've hit the jackpot there, because it's quite a bit of product for a low price. That Black Magic wasn't specifically intended to be any kind of diss on them, because over here we've got Masters, got some down here as well. We've got Lustre and Jerris. And what I said regarding the Black Magic really applies to all of them. I know I smelled some of the Masters, and I smelled what I could, because sometimes they're sealed up and you can't actually smell them. I know I smelled some of the Lustres. If you like bay rum, then you should be in hog heaven, because most of these makers, Lustre has a bay rum right here. Most of these makers had a bay rum type scent. Bay rum probably would match a citrus, a zesty citrus. It wouldn't be in the same family, potentially, but it should be compatible. It shouldn't conflict. Now, what would match a citrus? We're looking at right here. I believe these bottles are the Citrus Musk. And then over here, there's a Lime Sec. And see, these are a little bit more. They're $10.50. $9.50. $9.50 for these guys. But that's a pretty big bottle. The bottle probably sits about as tall as my computer screen here. And it's a good amount of product for what you get. And then it does kind of refresh your beard at the end of the shave. What I wanted to point out specifically is up here, these little bottles right here, Pinaud puts out, and they are samples. And these are only $3.50 each. And if you get lucky, I've not at this particular store, but at another one, I had most of their scents available as these sample bottles, which lets you try them out. And you get a lot of shaves in just that one little sample bottle. I mean, that might last you 2 months or something like that. Of course, that's going to be subjective depending on how much you use up. But these tiny bottles, this looks like the bay rum, but I've had other places have. I was able to try out the some of the different options, like maybe the vanilla and the whiskey woods and that sort of thing. So here's that Lustre bottle again. And so this is all Clubman stuff. I can't quite read the one in the white. And then you got bottles down here. There's the Jerris, and some of the other ones that we have. So if you like musky scents, then you'll probably be able to find. I think this says Coachman down here. I actually bought one of those because I thought the scent wasn't really too bad. And so, like I talked about with the Black Magic, I mean for these as well, where a lot of them might smell kind of weird and old man like because these are designed to be barbershop type fragrances where, location of a barbershop. A barber would buy some of these, and at the end of the shave, he might ask the man, hey, you want to smell like, what do you want today? Bay rum or vanilla? Or, some of the blue ones have that kind of aqua velva type spice, and give the man a choice. He's not going to say Lustre or Masters or something like that. And he'll then apply that to the man. He'll walk out and is all good to go. And so that's why these are pretty inexpensive. I mean, shoot, look at this Lustre. That's $5. The Masters down here is a little bit more. I think that looks like $8.50. And so you could just take a look at if you have a store like this near you, do some shopping around, see if you can maybe undo some tops. And of course, don't damage any seals or anything. But if something happens to be open, then you can get a good smell for it and see if maybe you like it. Because if you do stumble upon something in these bottles that you like, then that's a real good cost savings. It may not be super wonderful for your skin, but it's going to be the same stuff guys have been using for decades and decades. So you're not going to die, right? So specifically for the citrus, then the citrus musk or the lime may be good choices for that. I don't think there was anything else here that I wanted. I wanted to definitely mention about the samples. Be on the lookout for that. Also, in this type of section, you might see, if you're lucky, some Thayer's witch hazel in bottles. And then you might see larger bottles like that. And then you might see little samples, kind of like these guys. And I was able to try lavender. And there were some other ones as well. And those are going to be pretty weak. These are going to be stronger scented. And that's the way they're kind of supposed to be. My favorite choice is the Whiskey Woods that's kind of in this container here. But that would probably work with citrus, with a lime or something like that. Pivot you around. When you think about scents, something that goes with lemon or lime, something that you should think about is, sure, you could try to find a lemon or a lime splash, but then you could also, or something in the same family like a citrus, like orange. Speaking of that, Lucky Tiger has a tonic, and I've used it on my channel before. It's alcohol free, and so it's just very gentle on your skin. It has a nice little orange scent. So of course, since that's in the citrus family, that would be pretty good to match a lemon or lime type shaving soap. You can go along the same family, but you can also switch to the other side. Something woody, I find, often goes well with this whole citrus family. Also, if I have a lavender soap, something woody or something like oud or sandalwood really goes well with that type of scent. So if you're looking for something to smell good with a lime or citrus, then something in that wood family might be really nice. Citrus and lime actually goes well with a lot of different other type of non-family type scents. So there we go. So that's talking and hopefully answered your question about some of the splashes that are available. And I tell you, I don't think you could get any cheaper than what I've shown you here at a beauty supply store. That's about as good. And if you luck out and find a scent that you like, then not only is it something that smells good to you, but it's something that's going to last you a long time for not very much money. So that's pretty cool. I wanted to also show a splash is meant to last 2 hours after the shave if you're lucky. Sometimes just 1 hour, some even less than that, but they're not really designed to be very long lasting. It's just meant mainly for the antiseptic benefits. And then the scent is a little bit of a benefit. Now, some splashes can last a long time, hours and hours. It just depends on just the concentration and the type of scent you're talking about. The and so don't expect too much of a splash. If you want to go longer than that, then maybe think about focusing your energies on an EDT or an EDC, eau de toilette or eau de cologne. Here is one of Stirling's EDTs, and it comes with a little spray. Cap comes off. There's a spray, and these are priced very nicely. Um, Dogwood, Southern Witchcrafts has really budget-friendly EDTs as well, and I love their scents. Um, then, of course, other people have EDTs like Mammoth. Boy, the EDTs that they have, it's a large quantity, and you're going to pay $85 for those. But you'll get more than you get with the Stirling, but it's still a higher price. And that's because he puts more into his in terms of effort, research, maybe ingredients might be a little nicer, that sort of thing. But the EDT almost always is going to last longer than a splash. And so one way to go is not focus on the splash after the shave as the main scent provider, but focus on the EDT. And so then your splash can be something that is maybe even generic, where you have one or two splashes that apply to all your shaves, and then your twist for the day that gives you a different scent, something you might choose, might be the cologne instead of the splash, because the cologne's going to last longer. So that's something for you to think about. Balms. Here's one of Stirling's balms. They can also be used right after a shave instead of a splash. They're going to soothe your skin. They're going to kind of do a little skin repair from the shave. And sometimes they'll do a little bit of antiseptic, but that's not their main focus. Some people do actually use a splash and a balm in the same shave, and there's all kinds of conversations about which one you should use first. I personally think that a splash is going to undo some of the nutrition that a balm provides, and so I would say do the splash first, then wait a little while, and then do the balm if you're going to use both. But that's costing more money, and that's kind of not the focus of this question. The balm can be something that is squeezed out of a bottle like this, and this kind from Stirling has is upside down because it's a cap that we can keep the cream always at the bottom if we store it upside down. Barrister Man during COVID had to switch to a balm that was in this type of container, so they're almost like a cream type container, and so I wanted to show you that as an example. So you could pick even an unscented balm or splash. You could use the Thayer's Witch Hazel as something right after the shave. The witch hazel may not be alcoholic. Sometimes it is. You can choose. And it does a good job of being an antiseptic after the shave. So that's a good option too if that's a feature you're looking for. And then by using something that doesn't smell too much after the shave, then you could let your EDT kick in and be your scent. Okay, so I just wanted to present, and that's mainly why I'm doing the video instead of just typing this out, because as you can kind of hear, there's some different trains of thought that you could follow as you think about this. And I hope this answer to this question is helpful for other folks as well. For me personally, I don't really buy splashes most of the time. The ones I have are ones that I just happen to get as a result of purchasing several items, and the splash was just thrown in. Because even at Sterling prices of $14, I think some people will take a quantity like this, and maybe it lasts them a month, or maybe it lasts them 2 months. And to me, I kind of don't want that. I'd probably stick with something a little bit more cost effective. But I'm going to use up the ones I have. I do like the balms. They are lasting me a good while. The balm that's available at Walmart, the Nivea, which is a pretty good quality balm. Stirling is also very good quality in terms of the recuperative aspects of and the healing aspects of the product itself. It does a good job for a pretty good price. But for $5, you can get the Nivea balm. It's not going to be available in a zillion scents like the Stirling is, but it does a good job in terms of nourishing your skin. Has a generic manly type scent, and uh, one of those bottles lasted me 120 shaves, just as a point of reference. And but you could probably use it up quicker if you put on more product. Um, and so there's that. So I don't particularly. A lot of people, when they buy a soap, they always buy the splash as well. So you choose what you want to do. I generally just stick with the soaps, and I let my colognes and the balms and splashes that I've just kind of randomly accumulated over time, I let them be my post shave thing. But mainly, let's not think about balms as being something that's a cologne that's going to last all day. They just weren't meant to do that. And when I said balms just a second ago, I meant splashes as well. Mainly splashes there. Balms usually aren't as potent with scent strength as a splash is. And matter of fact, some places, what we're calling splashes these days, people actually sometimes even call it a lotion. Remember those old timers and stuff? When I was young, me included here as an old timer, when I was young, you could say aftershave lotion, and it was really just a splash or a cologne that you put on. And so it wasn't a lotion at all. It wasn't, creamy or like a balm, like an actual lotion at all. So sometimes, depending on who you're talking to, the terminology can be a little confusing. Um, so there we go. Hopefully that answered your question, Jason. And if you have a beauty supply store nearby, I would go and look, and it looks like you got some citrus options. If you can find some place that has a good selection of the Pinaud, you may have to check out a few places, especially if you have what's near you is a small one. You may need to travel a little farther to find a larger one where you get more selections. So there you go. There's my experience about splashes. Since I don't buy them a lot, it's somewhat limited. There may be somebody else out there who can give some better advice as to economical splashes, but those are the ones that I have seen and experienced. So there you go. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Sure hope this has helped Jason out and other people who hopefully have learned something too. Ask any questions in the comments that you might have. Take care now.